Fill in the blank. You want to buy, Now, I can't read your mind. Or can I? Anyway, regardless of your response, it's highly probable that there's an 8 out of 10 chance that your credit score will influence the outcome of that purchase. And in this video, I'm going to prove exactly that, as I'll not just explain what a credit score is, but also break down how they work, and more importantly, how you can improve yours. But before we get into all that, hi, I'm Lonnie, and your credit score is one of the most important and most crucial aspects you can manage and maintain in your life. It represents your past, your present, and future, or more specifically, your financial history, current standing, and future prospects. Now, there's a common misconception that having too much or too little credit is detrimental to your credit score. And it can be. But then here in credit card and finance YouTube, you see creators like myself who have 5, 10, 20 plus credit cards and yet still have high credit scores. How can that be? Well, let's talk about it. To start, credit scores are vitally important as they can affect you in multiple ways. Getting a car, buying or renting a house or an apartment, getting any type of loan actually, even to something as simple as getting a credit card and the amount of credit provided to you on said credit card. Credit scores serve as a crucial financial indicator that profoundly influence numerous aspects of one's life. They can play a pivotal role in not just determining access to credit, but can impact employment opportunities, as some employers consider them during the hiring process, and even some insurance companies may consider credit scores when determining insurance premiums, offering lower rates to individuals with higher credit scores. Overall, a good credit score can open doors to favorable credit terms, financial stability, and enhanced opportunities in various areas of life, making it crucial to build and maintain a strong credit history. So what exactly is a credit score? Well, Google says a credit score is a 3-digit number that estimates how likely you are to pay back your debts and bills based on the information in your credit reports. Yes, that means there is more than one type of credit score, and there's also more than one type of credit bureau. There's actually 3, but we'll get into that later. For now, to keep things simple, a credit score is a 3-digit number that ranges on a scale of 300 to 850, which lenders use to assess your credit worthiness and financial trustworthiness. It's all based on your credit history, which includes things like your payment history, the amount of debt you have, and the length of your credit history overall. And don't worry, I'm gonna break all these down. But let's start with how your credit score is calculated first. There are many different factors that go into calculating the credit score, but 5 distinct main categories. Be careful though, because they're not all treated or weighted equally. And they are payment history, which makes up 35%, amounts owed, or better known as your total debt, at 30%, length of credit history worth 15%, new credit at 10%, and credit mix with the remaining 10%. Let's break these down individually, shall we? Starting with payment history, this is self-explanatory. This category tracks your late versus on-time payments. It's weighted the most as lenders and banks want to know how reliable you are getting their money back to them. Remember that time you let your friend borrow $20? Jason, and they still haven't paid you back? Jason, well, do you think I'm ever gonna loan Jason $20 again? Same concept. Consistent and timely payments of your bills, including credit card balances, loans, and other financial obligations, demonstrates your reliability to handle debt. A history of missed or late payments, on the other hand, can negatively impact your credit score. Which reminds me. Yo, Jason, where my $20 at? The next factor is amounts owed, or also known as outstanding debt. This is the amount of debt you currently owe relative to the available credit you have. This is better referred to as your credit utilization ratio. For example, if you have $10,000 in available credit and you currently owe $1,000, that's a 10% utilization. Got it? Maintaining a low credit utilization ratio indicates that you're not overextending yourself financially and can manage your debt responsibly, which looks good. On the flip side, a high credit utilization ratio raises concerns about your ability to handle the debt and can lower your credit score. You don't want to have $10,000 in available credit and be using $9,000 of it. Even if you can handle it, it doesn't look good. With that, we also need to consider your duration of credit history, which is just how long you've had credit, your oldest and or active credit accounts, and the average length of your credit accounts, as the length of your credit history can also look good as well. A longer credit history generally indicates that you have more experience in managing credit, which can also be viewed favorably by lenders. Fun fact, I got my first credit card when I was just 18 years old, and it's still active today. I won't cancel it because of this. It's a $0 annual fee card, and it just sits in a drawer helping me out. If you want to do this, I have some links to some other powerful $0 annual fee cards in the Linktree link in my description. Also, check this video out to learn more about how to maximize their value. Thanks in advance. Okay, enough of that. Getting back to it, we have credit mix, which is just having a diverse mix of your credit accounts. This could be revolving credit accounts like credit cards, installment loans for your car or house, to even student loans, all of which can positively impact your score. And even though I didn't mention it earlier, I don't want to ignore your public records. These would be any adverse strikes, post-its, or red lines on your credit history, such as bankruptcies, foreclosures, or judgments. These could indicate financial distress and raise concerns about your worthiness, and you don't want that. So now that we know what can affect your credit score, let's discuss ways that can help and even improve it. And how do we do that? There are a number of things you can do to improve your credit score. Some of them are pretty easy to manage as well. The most important ones are, start to build your history. If you can start early, then you can create positive habits early. But first, you need some credit to build a relationship on. The one way I always like to recommend is get rid of your debit card. Use your credit card like a debit card. Know how much on-hand cash you have in the bank. Do your best not to exceed that and pay your statement off and in full before you're hit with a late or interest fee. This will not only help create some credit history, but also ensure you have a history of paying your bills on time. Easy, right? About as easy as hitting that subscribe button, yeah? If this has also been informative, hit that like button too. Speaking of which, the next thing to assist in improving your credit is paying your bills on time. Paying your bills on time is just making timely payments for all of your debts. This does not just refer to credit cards, but also other loans and utilities. Also, keep your credit utilization low. You should aim to keep your credit utilization ratio, which is the amount of credit you're using compared to the total available credit you have, below 30%. I personally say 20%, but that's up to you. This shows lenders that you're not overextending yourself with debt. Then, don't open too many new accounts. Now, this is not to say don't open too many overall, but rather don't open too many in a short period of time. Spread them out, man. You got time. Too much, too fast can be seen as a sign of financial instability. If you do not need to open a new account, space out your applications to minimize the impact. Next, have a healthy mix of credit. Try to build and maintain a diverse mix of credit accounts, including revolving credit like credit cards and installment loans like personal loans or mortgages. This shows lenders that you can handle different types of credit responsibility. And if you need, seek professional help. If you're struggling to improve your credit score on your own, consider seeking assistance from a credit counselor or financial advisor. They can provide personalized guidance and support to help you create a plan to improve your credit and achieve your financial objectives. Matter of fact, check out my friend Calvin of the 850 Club Credit channel. Good, knowledgeable guy. Check out his channel. Tell him Lonnie sent you. And last but not least, dispute any errors on your credit report. You should review your credit report regularly for inaccuracies, incorrect, or fraudulent information. If you find any errors, contact the credit bureau immediately to dispute them. Did you know that you also get one free credit report from the bureau once a year? So make sure you use that, because you don't want any surprises later on. And with that, we've covered my credit score crash course. I'm gonna throw that video I mentioned earlier up right here. And I'll show you this one as well. Let's keep the party going, all right? I gotta go find Jason. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.